What's up, guys? Back again with some more Stardew. Of course, more Stardew. Got the flower dance coming up. I think tomorrow. Holy crap. Like, do I actually have to do the flower dance though? What are the chickens? That'd be a funny name for an ostrich. Just call it chicken or turkey or something ridiculous. I'm space for a boy egg. Really? Come on. I'm debating on putting just more preservation jars back behind, or maybe down here for all the row. I need some preservation jars. Which stone coal? I have quite a bit of row, honestly. Holy crap, I do have a lot of row. Never mind. Good. Really all the way I have. I guess so. I guess I already burnt all of what I had. Okay. Good job. Abigail, Pierre, Robin. And like, oh wait, hold on, crap. I forgot to mark. Alright, so everyone who has 2, I'm just gonna put dash next to dash, hint, dash, okay, dash, Abigail 1 dash. It's gonna take forever every week, but you know what? It's gonna make things easier in the long run, I think. Andy, Penny, Maru, Dwarf, Harvey, Leah. Alright, so let's see here. Who all... I need more wood. I need a lot more wood. So should I go through and try to do gifts first, or go through and collect a bunch of wood first? Sam already has 2. Hey! Probably. Okay, so that's...
radio to the mercenary.
Oh.
Jihan's location. Jihan was brought to a limousine where the front man isn't inside. No, it's just a pig that is also an interview. And as the limo is making its way through the city, the mercenaries and Jun Ho are following after them. But as the car is moving, the front man is speaking through the intercom gate. The front man asks him, "Alright, here I am. What do you want?" And Jihan says to stop the game.
There's like no good way to do this.
This sparks a
And that's
conversation about
unfortunate.
the morality of the game. Front man pointing out that the players chose to participate in their own free will. Jihan pointing out that they're preying on people that are less fortunate in times. As those two are talking on the outside, the mercenaries and Jun Ho continue to tail the limo, but then their tires are shot out. Because the front man or the big suits or both of them realized that they were being tailed, they had snipers and artillery.
Okay.
They decided to end that tail.
Abigail is 2 now.
He pulls out the gun and starts shooting the glass, trying to take accidental.
Robin is 2 now.
He decides to ask the intercom if he can play the game one more time. It's a little surprising to the front man because a few seconds ago this guy was asking to stop the game. Now he wants to participate, but he's adamant. Knock me out. Take me to the game. Even though the front man knows that Jihan's mission is to get the horse owners to stop the race, he decides to do as he asks. He knocks him out, and he's going to take him to the game. But it turns out the front man was actually in the passenger seat the entire
Are you
time.
freaking kidding me?
It's also worth mentioning that Jun Ho was able to hear this whole conversation, so he knows where Jihan is headed. That means this year's Squid Game has one more contestant, Jihan. As for Noel, though, you find out that while she's participating in the game, she's not. No.
I don't know how Abigail saw me like all the way over there. The museum looks terrible. I think it's a hot mess.
Less joy for the things that truly matter. Premier keeps it simple, so you can focus on more of what you need. Premier Bank Card, the power of simplicity.
Citrus. Hey, man, translate that.
Which one of you is real?
It's writing up there.
That's when we notice that the tracker is in his bait. The people that are in charge of the game must have figured out that Jihan had this. They removed it, they put it in bait, and then they gave it to this fisherman on the docks. He had no idea about any of it. So now, Jun Ho, Wuxian, they're back at square one. As for Jihan, he wakes up the next day in the same barracks that he woke up in 4 years ago. All of the contestants are taking this all in, they're shocked, they're kind of confused, except for Jihan, since he's been here before. They then hear the music that signals that they need to go to the floor because they're about to be addressed by the fingerprints. And they all start making their way to the floor except for Jihan. He got at the stage manager. It's however stopped at player 44, gives him a Miss Cleo kind of speech and tells him he's got that Jihan, however, is getting late at the moment. He wants to find these people and bring them down. They come into the room and they thank everybody for agreeing to come. They start to explain that if they win all 6 games, they're going to receive a handsome reward. But then some of the people just start complaining about the outfits, the fact they don't have their cell phones. They also start inquiring about why the big men are wearing masks and it's just for fun. Then player 333 steps forward because he wants to know about the crypto money. He's got a ton of money invested. And that's when you think that he'll be hired. His name is Lee Myung Yi. He had a popular YouTube channel
Yeah, I think doing it with like a checklist would be better. I'm sure there's not one on Google where you just like click.
Woman named Cho Kyung Ju. She's a trans woman and she's got 330 million in debt. Then you've got player 230, a guy named Cho Seon Bong, who is a popular rapper that knows 1.19 billion won. A lot of it he lost in that crypto scheme. The worst of the group appears to be a guy in about his 60s, maybe 70s, named Jung Dae. He's player 100 and he owes 10 billion won. The big man starts to explain that everybody in that room is in financial ruin. When they approach them about playing the game and they told them they pay them, they did it. And that should garner the trust. He then sways the entire room by showing them the piggy bank and telling them that the total prize money at the end could be 45.6 billion. But they're also offering a special option they've never offered before. At the end of every single game, the group can vote whether or not they want to end the game. If they do that, they will all split whatever money's left. That's when Jihan finally speaks up because this was a new rule to the game that he wasn't expecting. He wants clarification that if they vote after the first game to leave, that they'll all get to split the money that's there. And the pigman says, yeah, that's exactly how it's going to work. Then there's a little bit of commotion because two of the players recognize each other. They're mother and son. Player 149 is the mother, player 7 is the son. They're both wondering and the mother is there to pay off her son's debt. The son is there to pay off his debt. Neither of them want the other there, but they're both staying. The pigman then get order restored. He tells everybody to walk away except to sign up. And then the line starts with everybody signing up to play because nobody knows which. After Li Yi, player 333, signs his permission form, he gets approached by a few of the players. One of them being Thanos. He's pissed because he looks at 333 as a big reason of why he's in this mess in the first place. He watches YouTube videos every day. He heard about this crypto coin. You gotta buy, you gotta buy, you gotta buy, and then he bought it and it tanked. He wants a little payback. But as Lee Myung-gi explains, dude, you invested at your own volition. I lost money too. That made enters. That was almost ends up punching him in the face until player 124, club promoter that remembers that, stops him. They then all file into another room where everybody takes a picture and the front main floor starts populating with the players. After doing this, all the players start making their way up the staircase to the first game, and this includes Jihan. But then he's stopped by someone who recognizes him. It's his best friend, Jung Bae. He played 3 games. Jung Bae hasn't seen Jihan in 3 years. Found out his mother died from his father. Believed that he's in the game. He's a little pissed that he had to find out his wife was back. I mean, he did something that was close, but he also figures that he just disappeared because back in the day, he wouldn't lend the money. Jihan can't get into all the details, so he says, look, it's a long story, I'll get to it later. And then they start getting caught. Turns out Jung Bae got divorced, but he doesn't really want to talk about it. He just says, when we get out of here, we'll catch up on the drinks. That's when Jihan grabs his phone. Look, when it starts, stay behind me. Trust me. And of course, Jung Bae has no idea why he's acting like this. He says, yeah, look, okay, man, I'll go to the drink. All the players then file out to the arena, and it's a red light, green light arena. So Jihan is preparing. Right before they get into the rules, Jihan decides to check his tracker in his wallet. He pulls the tooth out and realizes the tracker is gone. He's on his own. The cavalry is probably not coming. He could have to maneuver the game to win them again. Or he could survive one round and make everybody walk away for the rest of the game. As the big doll starts to explain the rules of red light, green light, and after 5 minutes, Jihan takes over. He gets in front of everybody and says, listen to me. This is life for red. When it hits red light, give it 8 minutes. Jihan continues saying the big doll has here. Everybody's probably and they are awesome. That's what everyone realizes. Making this up. It's serious. G1 is desperately trying to save as many people as he can.
Any more stone? Go back to this guy and they're narrowly able to save him before the time without gets across the finish line. He's shot. It break the rules. Consequences are death. The person that shot him was guard number 11. No. All the remaining players that file into the barracks, they're all trying to wrap their head around what they just survived. Most of them at this point want to get the hell out of there. That is, until they find out how much money is now. 91 players were eliminated. All the players left the bank. That's for $9 million to go into the fund. There's 365 players left, which means that they all split it. That would be a little under $5 million. For some of the players, that's not nearly enough. They feel like what they just endured isn't worth $5 million. It's worth way more than that. And some of them start thinking, okay, well, if I can survive, then I'll get out. And this is right before the vote takes place. We've been do call for a vote to see if everything. Oh crap, I didn't realize what time it was. I'm over here just dilly-dallying.
Work their way down to there.
Run! Run faster!
Thinking that a lot of the players
Still need a leak.
this will be an easy decision. But after about half of this round, 7 want to go to South America. And G1 has had enough. He starts begging everybody to end the game into their heads. He started blaming you, saying that he scared everybody, that's why they died. He made everybody nervous. But then he also starts questioning how G1's doing it. And he tells everybody that G1 is there by stage the game. Joe Gato saying he was he's the reason we're all alive. Respect to the guy. Both groups though started arguing back and forth. No one can get over the stage flies and then finally people in screen time and play the game. You know, the first player that did it, I said, years ago. Never supporters was there. Did since yeah, but also like again, I guarantee that everybody in this room could end up with the players who like
Eggplant for sure. Oh no, I need eggplant. I need potato. Ooh.
Especially the fact that she's in this game, a deadly situation, carrying their child, but she doesn't want to.
I don't know what to name it
She doesn't
now.
want to solve because all the players need to get ready for that day's competition. They all assume it is a
Peaky.
game with the honeycomb. Everybody's trying. But when they get in the arena, it is not that at all. It's completely new, one that Jihan had never seen before. It's a relay race. Everybody needs to break off in teams of 5. They're then going to be shackled together at the ankle, so they have to work as a team. One by one, we're going to go through this relay. Each member of the team has to complete a different game, child game. That's a complete in 5 minutes. If they don't complete it, well, we all know what happens. So initially, when they get to the arena and it's not the honeycomb game, a few of the people start ripping into Jihan, but he's just as confused as everybody else. They then, though, need to start picking up teams. Jihan's team is pretty much already set. You've got Jihan, you've got Junbei, you've got Daeho, and of course you've got the front man, but they need one more. They decide to adopt Junhee, player 222, the pregnant woman. It's a bold strategy, but Jihan wants to protect her in that moment. Thanos has his team. You got player 120, the trans woman who's having a big problem finding a teammate, but she finally finds an ally in player number 95. They end up teaming up with the mother, the son, and then the Oracle, the woman who thinks that she can predict the future. She's crazy and they're stuck with her, but hey, that's their fit. Everybody else is able to find a team, and then they sit down and they start deciding what game each player will play, which is the most important. Most of these players haven't played these games in years, so they want to make sure that they're playing to everybody's strengths. After deciding what games everybody will play, they finally kick it off, and 2 teams go at the same time. But everybody quickly realized that this game is going to be a lot harder than they realized. You can only afford to mess up a few times before you are absolutely screwed. And when the clock hits 0 for the first 2 teams, they get lit up. It's definitely a shell-shocking moment for everybody, but they need to snap out of it. The next team
Thank you.
are going to go. And one of those teams is Cho's team, the Transport. In episode 5, Cho's team learned from the first team that went, the mistakes that they made, and it helped them out tremendously. One of the tactics that they used was, if they threw the stone and they didn't hit the target, as a team they would quickly go to pick it up, but they wouldn't as a team turn around, they would just simply walk backwards. It saved a lot of time. This isn't to say that Cho...
No more row.
Season 13, they'll be safe and warm. Love Hip Hop Atlanta will move tomorrow at 8 on MTV.
Potatoes going for them. Already checked the other farm, so I just need to run around and try to get gifts. Already checked that, so that'll reset today.
Cho's team had an easy go for it. The Oracle, for example, got really hung up on spinning top. She just couldn't get it. And Cho literally had to slap her and remind her, you need to finish this or we're going to die. And it worked. Cho's team was the first one to finish it. They celebrated, but they weren't the only ones celebrating. Everybody celebrated. Because if Cho's team could do it, that meant that this task was possible to finish. And one by one, more teams started having success finishing the task. It doesn't mean that some teams didn't die, but each team seemed to learn a little something from the team that went previously. One of the last teams to go was Jihan's. Now, they started off like gangbusters. They were just breezing through this thing until it came to spinning top. Spinning top was supposed to be the front man's game. And it's not like he was trying to throw the game, but he just couldn't get it. Unlike Cho, Jihan and his team decided to do a little positive reinforcement, reminding him that he's got it, and he was able to do it. This, however, didn't leave a lot of time to complete the final task, which was Jihan's task. Essentially, it was to throw an item up in the air, kick it 5 times, and keep it in the air. They would have failed this task if it wasn't actually for the front man, because Jihan kicked it a little too far the 5th time, and the front man, with his foot connected to Jihan, lunged forward, it hit Jihan's foot and they passed. They survived. They return into the barracks where most of the teams have stuck together at this point. Thanos' team seems way toxic, for the record. But Cho's team,
Last
though,
week.
they get along really well. The old woman, though, as only an old woman can, ends up asking Cho about transitioning and the surgeries and whatnot. And Cho admits that there are a few surgeries she hasn't gotten done yet to be fully a woman. Ji-Hung's team arrives back and they start going around exchanging their actual names because they haven't done this yet. The front man tells the group that his name is Oh Young-il, but then he makes a mistake because he says to Gion, "What's your full name? I only know you as Gion." Gion kind of looks at him puzzled and says, "How exactly do you know my name?" But the front man thinks fast. He tells him that he overheard Jung Bei refer to him as that name, and that's why. And Gion appears to lie the story. Well, everybody kind of awaits the news of how many players died and how much money the pot went up. The Pinkmen continue to go about their business, but number 11 gets a visit from two coworkers who are not happy with her. Just like she told her boss, she wasn't going to stop confirming the kills. But these two guys, they're going to make her understand that she is going to stop doing this, or she's going to die. They trap her in a room, they pin her down, they threaten to cut off her fingers if she doesn't stop. And they make it very clear that she is not going to last very long unless she, quote-unquote, plays ball. Some other Pinkmen, though, go to address the players, but they tell them there are 255 players remaining, which means 20.1 billion won, which results in every player getting a little less than 79 million won each. While this seems like a lot of money, some players are pissed off and they still don't think this is enough money to walk away from the game. Then you've got other players, like the old woman, who is convinced that this will be the time where everybody comes to their senses and walks away. She goes so far as to invite her entire team over for a kimchi dinner, and that includes Cho. And while Cho accepts the invite, it becomes obvious to player 95 that Cho might be wavering on the whole walking away thing. There's also wavering going on with Eon's team. Eon can kind of sense this, so he promises everybody that he will help them out once they're out of this place. After all, he did win the games. The whole thing kicks off, and player 1 begins. The front man does exactly as he said. He votes no. End the game. As the vote continues, it looks like Eon's speech to his team did work, because they're all voting to end the game. Until Jung Bei gets up. He votes to continue. And that's when the whole dissension starts. But then the dissension starts with others, like the Sun. Initially, he voted to end the game's episode 1. He voted to continue the game, which is against his mother's wishes. And since she was wavering, player 120 decides to do the exact same thing, continue the game, which comes as a big surprise to her team. After about 60 votes, Gion once again goes to make an impassioned speech, but the front man actually cuts him off. He's the one who makes the speech, begging these people to come to their senses, end the game, think about the future, think about the risk. All everybody's thinking about is getting more and more money and justifying staying in the game as opposed to leaving. It gets to the point where, thanks to player 100, he's got a very loud one more game speech going on. And at that point, Gihan kind of knows the chances of any game is right out the window. While the first vote was very close, going down to 3 votes, this vote is not. This vote is very lopsided. And the voters vote to the After the player gets approved, the old woman goes up to her son and she starts yelling at him for his decision to claim the vote. And that's when he's forced to admit that he actually owes way more money than he previously let on. And even if they combined both of their shares walking away, it wouldn't be enough. That's the reason he decided to keep going. Jung Bei has a similar conversation with his team. He borrowed way more money and he thinks that if he goes through one more game, he can pay off his debt. Because right now, the debt collectors are not only coming after him, they're coming after his wife and kids. He knows how much he doesn't care. I mean, he did just promise these people he would help them out, and he just got betrayed. But Jung Bei reminds him, I'm not the only one who did this, man. He's been wrong side. That's when player 3 indicates that Chuck is over, and he says, you know, I actually thought about continuing the game myself, even though I voted for it. Jung Bei goes on to tell the group that one of the reasons why he continues to go along with the game was because of how well they worked in the last game. When he brings up surviving the next game, Eon cuts him off and says, what if in the next game we're supposed to kill each other? Did you ever think of that? So frontman stops Dion and says, "Let's talk about something a little more positive. Let's just eat our food and get in the right mindset." And they end up giving a lot of their food to the pregnant girl. The final person that's dealing with betraying their team is Joe. The old woman comes to her and says, "Why? Why did you do it?" And player 120 goes on to explain that when she decided to become a
Holy
woman,
crap.
her whole life changed. People started treating her differently.
Oh.
If she gets through one more game, it'll not only pay for the surgeries that she needs, but it'll also pay for an entire new life in Thailand. And then you've got the teams that voted yes that are going to bully the folks that voted to end the game, like Thanos' team. They voted to continue the game. And they'll use any opportunity they can to bully player 333. They decide to meet him over the bathroom. They start giving him
Are you serious?
Start trying to fight him.
I'm gonna take it. It's great.
The old woman, though, is going to have to worry about it because she's got a little group going with her. Got player 222, the pregnant girl, and then player 120 is also going to accompany them to the league. For player 120, just being in a women's room is just a really good feeling. When player 222 goes into the bathroom, though, the old woman tells her to do anything at all.
8, 9, 10, 11,
Because the old woman was actually the first one to discover that player 222 was pregnant. She was hiding pretty well. After a little bit, though, the old woman notices that the girl is still in the bathroom. She thinks that something's wrong with her, that maybe she won't believe her. So I'm just scared. She starts crying in the old woman's arms. Now, on the outside of the marriage, Junpei ends up apologizing for continuing on with the games, and Dion says, "I know it wasn't just her fault. It's fine." They then start doing a little bit of a trip down memory lane, but that kicks off an argument between the two who's to blame for the divorce of Junpei. And Junpei is only doing this fight to try to get his old friend out again. Because since he's entered this place, the Gion that's in front of him isn't the Gion that he was friends with. He doesn't recognize this dude. This dude's changed. While accusing Gion of being the reason why he ended up getting a divorce in the first place, he finally sees his old friend again for a second. And they laugh at him. They agree that one more game and then they're out. They try to go to bed with everybody taking a shift, but no attack happens that night. Everybody just wakes up and fast forward because they get ready for the next game. Because of what happened last night, Dion has no idea what to expect. Sure enough, it's the arena. It is a game you've never played before. The game is called Bingo. You basically get on a revolving platform where somebody announces a number. You have to grab that number of people, 3, 4, 5 tickets on a team, and then get into a door. So it's kind of like musical chairs with time. If the number is 5, Young's team will play, but if it's more than that, that's going to be off the platform, or as big as a break up insurance. But it's isn't going to be easy. Everybody moves. They all do agree, though, with the stick of the plan. Play as a stick together. Then they get on the platform, and they're going against. And it was a
I definitely need to get back on checking this out. Okay, there we go. Holy crap.
So 60 game kicks off, and it is really good. It gets every single one of the top 5 with a new teenage.
split up. Four teams that are now down.
Oh yeah, because they're artifact. Oh no, it's their minerals. Never mind. I'm not
Dragging them
sitting there with jazz.
survive the next round. This game, of course, comes at a casualty. Round 413. Player 120 is finally able to her teammates in the room. That includes her friend, player 95. Then she notices her friend isn't her friend fell down trying to get her. Player 120 moves out to grab her friend. She is pushed back and stolen by player 73. And he throws the door, locking player 95 out. This secures the victory for everybody. But it also sets the fate of player 95. Job. She wants to make a she starts screaming at player 93. He says, no, I didn't. Never would make that. I see you. She would thank you. Without me. And even though she can't stand it, these pregnant eggs tell Joe that's right. You never would make it better. She did. Look around here, so they need to again. It's rough. And nowadays it's a great day. It's also a great day.
So it's just these two?
Either way, though, when it's all said and done, after 5 very, very stressful rounds, everybody from the mentioning does survive, and they head back into the barracks. The thing on most people's mind is, what's the split? How many people that wanted to stay in the game die, versus how many people that wanted to keep going and live, or vice versa? Well, Dave goes try to figure out how many people are left and how many people thinks are on their side. But during 3 rounds, breaking X, he doesn't like the way that he handled things before. He vows that once they get out of there, he wants to be with her and race this baby together. He figures if they put their shares together of the winnings, he can pay off some of his debts, and then he can invest the rest of it in a new crypto that he is convinced will hit. That money, they can live a comfortable life raising their baby. But the fact that he's sitting here talking about shares, i.e., using her shares to pay off his debts, doesn't sit well with him. He tells him to pay off his debts because she's using her share to raise their baby. Their tenuous conversation was seen by mainly player Dennis. He's the one that notices the conversation and he thinks that these two somehow maybe they can use it to their advantage because after all these made the crypto scheme. Walks up to the old Steve and she basically she's talking to the guy. There's the word end right there. They're going to die there. She has she's pissed off about how the previous game went and how a few of the games went. She feels like she's got no breath to help them out. They all look at her like straight.
She just like straight made me vanish.
While she's thinking about it, right? It's around this point that they move back to the office. It's good to be really
Dog, I'm already married. I don't know what you're on about.
Join their side. How do you simply threaten them, entice them, beg them? Jihan wants to do something, but the front man says no, don't. If we try to force these people upside down, spark confrontation, that could turn to violence. Around this point, where Junpei steps in and says, there's gotta be people on the side. There's gotta be people that get that amount of money and say, you know what, that is enough. So the group decides, we're just gonna sit back, we're gonna vote to win the vote, we're gonna vote to the best. What they figure is they need 5 people to switch that. They get these 5 votes, they're good, everybody's gonna go home. A few seconds later, the midgets walk in and announce the results after 8:30.
There's only one players versus 35, 6 million on. That's 356 million players. And they give up the vote as the most, so G1 ends up going first. There's no reason to make a speech this time because the vote is a lot closer. And G1, to his credit, listens to his team.
Why are you freaking out about it, dog?
Suicide, and they do. But he wasn't big. From his side, switching over to the playing side. And that does happen. Final vote.
This is horrible. It's really an egg.
Vote determine what happens. It is at that point, it is 50 yes, 9 stop. And that final vote is the front man, which concerns jump back. The only reason it concerns him was because of what he witnessed in that room. The front man taking this guy out and choking him to death with little to no remorse. But all of that doubt goes out the window when the front man walks up and votes to end the game, resulting in a 50-50 tie. Because it's a tie, the man announces that they will have the right to vote again the next day. They're going to let everybody just sit with their decision and figure out if they want to switch or to the same side. After the vote, everybody starts getting their food, which is getting worse and worse as the games go on. This is something that a few of them have noticed. Mainly the longer the sun. They feel like maybe the food could sway up over them. And they join G1 and his team to eat. But at one point, the son decides to try to sway some votes with just friendly banter. He yells out that his food sucks, and if they want, he will buy literally everybody who switches sides. His mom stands up and says, "Yeah, we're all my dessert." But that's when dickhead player 100, that geriatric dick, stands up and says that when they all die in the next round, he's going to buy his own restaurant and treat everybody who survived and keep going. He'll treat them. And now you've got both sides just going at it, yelling at each other. Tensions are very, but Jihan isn't getting involved. Jihan, however, notices something about his food. When he looks in the wrapper, he was gifted a fork. And he figures that he's not the only one who's gifted a fork. Oh, and he certainly wasn't. Now, while this argument was going on, you had other guys in the battle. One of those people being Thanos, who decided to bully one of the guys on his team for choosing to end the game. Thanos wants to keep going. And Thanos and his lackey want to remind this dude that he should probably switch sides, which is something that only player 333 over here. And he's pissed off. He doesn't think it's right that these people are trying to intimidate votes. He stands up to it. He tells Thanos to stop. And not only does he tell him to stop, he rats him out, letting those that wanted to stop the game know, you've got people in here who are trying to intimidate our side to change their vote. This results in a little bit of a standoff between Thanos, his lackey, and 333. That's when the lackey completely crosses the line. He brings up these pregnant acts. And we tell him to stop talking, that results in a fight. And Thanos is much bigger than Lee, ends up taking Lee to the ground and choking, and it looks like Lee's about to die. Until Lee, who was also gifted a fork, shocks Thanos by stabbing him right under the chin. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about in a while is Jun-Ho and his team. They're still searching for the island. They're still searching for Jihan. Unfortunately, they haven't had much luck, and a lot of that has to do with the weather. They have to wait for skies to clear up to head out. They do think that they still can find the island. After all, Jun-Ho has searched over and over and over again. There's only so many places left that he had to search. And now that he has his mercenary team, he feels like he's got a pretty good opportunity. Using a drone, he's able to search a particular island that he hasn't visited. When he really looks into it, he notices that this particular island has a door that is hidden, and he wants to go search it. He, along with the mercenaries, get up on the island, they search it, they go to the door.
So I need to get Pierre a gift tomorrow. Caroline a gift tomorrow.
And when they get back to the boat, the captain begs them to just stop searching. After all, now people are dying. But the mercenary team, they're tough. They tell the captain, no, he's not dying in vain. We're going to keep going. Jun-Ho feels like who's ever orchestrating these games probably knew they were coming. So to change it up, he's going to ban cell phone use and change the radio connection. That way they can get a jump on it. But the bathroom rages on outside in the barracks, the people are being alerted to the fact that there is killing going on because you have the intercom system saying player 452, player 339, player 72 have all been eliminated. When it's all said and done, 5 people died in the bathroom. It does up the count a little bit, but when the folks from the bathrooms return to the barracks, they're all a little shell-shocked. And it's Thanos' lackey who proclaims to the entire group that they were the ones who were attacked.
Allspice, the scent of hope.
Citrus. He looked like he could kill somebody. I can't say his name.
Evil.
The stakes have been raised and covered in cheese. So absolutely captivating. He made it translate that.
Which one of you is real?
Which audience then?
The no hidden fee cash up card.
Wait, did I already give Marty a second gift
But the
this
people who
week?
wanted to end the game refute that statement. They say, no, you guys attacked us. And it's really just a he said, she said. But then they all realized that if 5 people died, they need to figure out what side those 5 people were on to figure out who has the majority of the vote. After doing the calculations, they realized that the group that wants to end the game is up by 1 person. That's all well and good, but Lights Out is in 30 minutes. Ji-hun knows exactly what's coming next. He knows that they will be attacked by the group that wants to keep playing. One of the members says, okay, well, what do we do now? And the barman says, yeah. Ji-hun says, no, we're not doing that. We can't just join in with the bloodbath and keep playing it right into the people who created the game's hands. In fact, that's who we should be going after, the people who forced you. They keep everything going on in-house. All you have to do is get to the top of the staircase. There's a man in a black mask who is orchestrating all of it. If we can get to him, we can finally end this. Of course, Ji-hun has no idea that he's actually talking to that guy. What Ji-hun wants to do is attack the pink guards, get their guns, and use it against them. Frontman says, no, I mean, what are the odds that even works? And Ji-hun shoots back, what do you suggest? I mean, we fight the other side all night, just hoping to God that we make it out? No, we can do this. Ji-hun starts to formulate a plan that everybody's going to follow. He knows that once the lights go out, the other side will creep down and start attacking. But it's only a matter of time before the guards rush in and stop it. So what his group's going to do is hide under their beds. That way, in the darkness, they'll be safe. Once the guards do rush in, though, they're going to pretend to be dead. So when the guards come to check their vitals, that's when they pounce. It's a surprise attack. They steal the gun, and they outnumber them. And that is exactly how it plays out. Just like Ji-hun Hall. This
Oh wait, I haven't even checked the
completely by surprise. They're able to capitalize on the fact that they weren't expecting this. They're able to grab the guns, shoot a lot of them, and they even get a hostage out of it. Of course, all this is being watched by the guy who's underneath the front man, the guy who's in charge of that. So when this happens, he puts the word out to all the pink guards to be on alert, get ready, all hands on deck type of thing. One of the players actually wants to turn the guns on the group that wanted to keep playing, but Ji-hun put the stop to that and said, no, we'll be no better than them. We're not doing that. That wasn't part of the plan. Nicole has prevailed. He, along with his team that had the guns, is going to announce the entire barracks that they're going after the people who put them there. The people who are orchestrating the game. That way they will stop it. Since they're holding guns, surprisingly, player 100, that geriatric douchebag has nothing to say. Ji-hun makes a plea to everybody that if you've used a gun before and you're willing to fight, step forward to help them out. And a few of them do. It's that player 120 who gets up from the group and she shows everybody how to unload a clip because it turns out she was a colonel in the Special Forces. She was kicked out of the military because she went trans. But she's a stone cold killer. The group then gears up, they all make sure they have enough ammo, and using the hostage, they start making their way up the staircase. It's not too far up, though, that they are attacked, but because they have so many of them, they're able to kill the 15 guards that made it down without any casualties. Not only that, they're being very smart about this. Every time they pass a security camera, they're shooting it out. So the guy who's underneath the front man, at this point, since I haven't given him a name, I'll just call him Square Mask. You know, it's always good to give a guy a name that's even like That's on me. It thumbs down for that. But anyway, Square Mask is having a tough time seeing what's going on. He's really just hearing it. And with the group making their way farther up the staircase, he really needs all hands on deck. But luckily, he does have a lot of pink guards at his disposal, and they're able to pin the group down in one of the areas. You've got a firefight going on, but it's Jihan's tank
I
and
forgot
pink
to
guards.
do.
Jihan decides in that moment he's going to go look for the control room
Is it still
entrance, and
open?
maybe he can put a stop to it by himself, but he's going to bring Junbei along with him. That pretty much leaves everybody else continuing on in the firefight. And Junbei and Jihan do make it up to the staircase. They're making good headway, and they're radioing back to the front man to let him know what's going on. But Jihan wasn't as savvy as player 120. Jihan wasn't shooting out the security camera footage, so Square Mask is able to see what's going on, and he sends more guys to protect the staircase at all costs. That causes Jihan and Junbei to get pinned down. And the longer the firefight goes outside, it favors the pink guards, because they just have more of them. They have more ammunition. And quickly, everybody that's playing the game that's trying to fight back is quickly running out of bullets. Eventually, Junbei radios back to the front man and says, "We need ammo, we need some backup." And the front man says, "Yeah, I mean, we're having trouble too. We're running out of ammo." Jihan tells him, "Hey, there's ammo in the pockets of the dead pink guard, so grab that." And that's a little bit of a game changer. The front man, along with two other guys, agrees to help Junbei and Jihan, while Daewoo says, "I'll go get the ammo that I can find." The problem is, Daewoo's a little shell-shocked. Even though he was a Marine, it appears like he's going through PTSD. He's yet to fire his weapon, he's kind of hiding, covering his ears. So while he is able to find a bunch of ammunition, and he runs back to the barracks, and he finds more ammunition there, when he heads back to the game, he gets radioed by player 120 asking, "Where the hell are you? We need ammunition." Daewoo doesn't answer. He heads back inside the barracks, and player 120 realizes that the front is about to get sent on by the decides to go back and fight Daewoo. When she arrives back in there, she starts yelling, "Has anybody seen Daewoo?" And the one says,
I need to double check that. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button.
Player 1 says that you guys are along the staircase and then shoots them. There's some coverage.
Oh,
After that happens, he switches radio frequencies. He tells Square Open, "Okay, let's wrap this up." And that's what they do.
oh goodness.
When Jihan and his crew get out of ammunition and overwhelmed, they have to surrender. And as the people who had to fight, they were participating, they were all there is no surrender. Jihan and Junbei, they also stand with them. And as they're waiting for their execution, down the staircase walks the front man. He has to what did he say? Enjoy what you hear. Well, now he has consequences. But he doesn't shoot Jihan. He shoots Junbei. Jihan's screaming. Pissed off that he gets a gap off the front of his game. He can go down. And then finally, it turns out, he's got more on his side. He doesn't have more on his side. Those members of the team and his outside with customers of like one of the group. Check it out. You might be happy guessing this is that's really, really hot. The captain kind of rushes inside first and tells the guy, "Okay, just go back to bed." But then he stabs him and he throws him over. The captain
I have a sick daughter. Shot abdomen, tell 6. Close your eyes, take that. That's it. Survive. That worker is the worker. She could go to a whole different guy. Okay, 246. He's still alive. Working. And she actually is going to be on that team. It's only close to time for all of us. They put that certain things where
I saw mangoes, or did I saw them all? I do have a mango.
same thing, okay, I'll do that. And they bring her down. And it seems like they but they never get to it until right before the actually she puts it on the wall. She shoots every one of them watching her. She makes it very clear that it's so he goes and being a doctor. Stitches the guy up, tells him that it'll work and seems to be okay. There is one thing. He's lost a lot of blood with the blood transfusion. They don't have a blood there. She says, alright, I'm taking it for a minute. I'll get it. Oh, universal donor. So, no, heck no. Again, those that stupid things, they just think that beyond it.
Do I have an original catalog? Yeah, I didn't see this one. Oh, it's the wizard. Here it is. There it is. This one? Yeah. So whatever they do here is commission. And if things go south, then they have to go now, up at this point, Happy Clark has ordered the raid, but there is one person who thinks that his actions have been shaded, and that is himself. So while the Pierre,
unsure,
Caroline, Jazz, Sandy.
there's something shady with the captain. I know about the scene. He's out exploring the leadership. That are overgrown guy like this.
I like how they sit there and brag about his shop. And it's like, bro, that's the only place you can shop. It's not just bash.
Continue the game, dominates the play. And you've got the old player with the shit shirt, walks by the fact that he got everybody doing things developing, like the rebellion being successful, and they found a plan the whole time to eliminate all these people. So player 100 has been pro game the entire time, thanks to it's obvious. He's not the only one. There's experience. Player 44 kind of nucleus to it, talks to the dead, spirit whisper. She starts mocking too. Telling them that, oh, you we're all your little friends, yelling from the dead. And that's when they get the snap and start to choke. And he probably encountered nothing from the cronies pulling her away. Since Gianna still can't come to the bed, he can't really move the floor. There are locals, however, that are still attempting it. You got player 7, don't see dead his mom. Player 149, young John. And you got player 120, young Jew. All trying to make you feel better. Young Jew especially, she takes most of the blame for what happened and she couldn't get ammo back to the grouping team. But young C steps in and says, no, we don't know what actually happened and we know who's to blame. This is Davis. I mean, as soon as he showed up, turned around, went to go leave, but he just froze. And that's something that Gino is going to do. So he does with all the damage. So much so that if he stares him down,
Let's keep going.
Staring daggers. The contestants though need to get ready for game number 4.
There, you, stop. In the name of friendship. Thank you. That's all I wanted. Oh, you could talk to me. Well, you know what? Whose fault is that? It came out of your room once in a while. It's not like your parents.
Really tough for Dave because he did that. But Gino doesn't care. He continued to stare him down. When they do arrive at the destination, they're told that they will be splitting up into 2 teams, and you cannot pick teams. They will be chosen at random. What's essentially a big gumball machine. You gotta go up, you gotta spin it, and you gotta color blue or red. That's the team you're on. And there are some people that are split. Like player number 33, Crypto Boy. He and his pregnant girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, they're split up. Young Seek and his mom are split up. And Jihan and Daeho are also split up. But that's when they find out that the game is to be hide and seek. The blue team will be hiding. The red team will be seeking. The blue team's entire objective is to survive 30 minutes. They're all giving he will unlock a door.
I forgot to give her a present.
But also open up other areas to the arena. Essentially just more hiding spots.
Wait, who's that? Leo?
The red team, though, they're going to be given a very, very big night. And their objective is to find somebody on the blue team and kill them. They have to kill one person. All of a sudden, player 100, who is the bait at this point, he's on a hiding team. He doesn't like this game so much. It's kind of amazing. And a lot of the blue teams feel like they're at a disadvantage because they're chased by people with big knives. But as the red team reminds them, hey, you guys have keys. You can hide. You can go somewhere. You can escape. Now, one of the announcements that the workers make is that members of the red team are not allowed to attack each other. But in the final recall, you can switch teams. The workers are going to give them ample opportunity to find somebody on the other team to switch with. And there are people that want to switch. Young Steve tries to convince his mom to switch sides, saying, look, I'll kill someone who will protect you. And it takes a lot of commitment. I mean, neither of them are really
John B, the pregnant girl, and player 388, Deho, along with obviously the school bus. Initially, when all of the group that put gets together, player 100 screams, okay, it's best if we work together. We all find the door scream, and we'll all and some think that's a good idea, but time is ticking. They've got to find a place to hide or start trying out doors or something. But that's when John B, the pregnant girl, seems to have some issues. Whether it be contractions or something, it's bad timing. Luckily, though, she does have allies. And Hyunju and Gyumja, the old woman, they come to her side and they're going to try to find her a hiding place. But as the group hides, we've got alliances forming on the outside with the hunters or the seekers. Player 124, Thanos' old buddy, who's one of the only surviving members of Thanos' group, walks up to Hyunji, player 333, and asks him, hey, do you want to work together? And at first, 333 has no interest in working with this dude. Just seems like he's looking forward to killing people way too much. But 124 goes on to explain that this is going to be best if you do find a partner. Because the people that are hiding aren't just going to willingly die. They're going to fight back. So you might as well find a partner. Just gang up on somebody. And when it comes time for them to go in, player 333 agrees to work with 1.4. But Jihan, he doesn't have a partner. He just has a target. And that target is likely Data. The Seekers pile into the arena, and for Jihan, he's just looking for one. He's looking for one person, and that's Deho. Now, initially, it's not easy for anybody. You've got people trying to hide and opening up random doors. One of the things with the doors is once you open it, you can't lock it again. And one thing that people that are hiding quickly realize is the fact that their key doesn't open up every door. There are 3 different keys: circle, X, and square. So it really benefits these hiders to team up. And that's what
I need more battery packs.
That's what Hyunju, Jun-hee, and the old woman do. They team up. With really Hyunju protecting both. While this is going on, though, you've got Little G, who's teamed up with Dennis' old buddy, player 124, and he's trying to get his kill so that he can go and find his ex. Protect her, just like he said. The tandem get their first kill pretty quickly. For Hyunju's trio, though, they're trying to make their way through and just survive when they hear the announcement that one player was killed and player 333 is safe. And for she's pumped because that means that he's got his kill and he should be coming to protect him. And in fact, he is. He's trying to ditch player 124, but player 124 is getting hit. Well, player 124 jokes around about the fact that it's pretty obvious that 333 is looking for the girl he's always talking to. She gets stabbed.
Zelda started tripping out.
They get a first fish on the red vest, and it's the old song. He still hasn't killed him. Time, and the person that he's decided to kill is Junkie. All the rules are you're not doing that. Take my life, I played. Kill me, you live for me. What Donkey did for himself killed him. He's got the dagger up. Down. It's that. First person was the one that he showed players. Her journey was wild. She had a bunch of the followers, she was trying to harness the spirit, where the exit was, and at one point she opened up one door, and all she found was player 124 and no team. And she quickly ran, and it was basically into the slaughter. The next time she made death was when she ran to the pond. When she did that, was she came home with a fresh Dago. She saw Dago hobbling around, eating for himself, with a trail of blood. That is when she found the exit. But she realized, oh, all three teams found me at one. That's when she found player 100. He had to. So they headed to the exit. She was kind of insulted the entire time. That's when he went through first, grabbed one of the keys, and said, oh, there you go. And he survived. As she's trying to connect herself, she was approached by the other kid down the street. The kid found has brought full of drugs. And he's like, take it, and he is tripping. He starts asking players for about this girl looking for, and all of a sudden he starts seeing players walk in, and that's when he lost the dagger hidden from the floor. So the shaman gets him, and then of course there's Gino, who spent the entire day looking for Dago. And he does find him. Player tries to explain, he thinks being a soldier, he tattooed her, he just wanted to work through it, and he couldn't put it through it. But when that didn't sink in, she won. That's when he lashed out and it's your fault. And it took it into the puzzle. Because Dago had found it. Eventually, though, it does keep on strangling Dago, killing him and advancing. There's also development of that selection player 20, Dago, player 38, the shaman, player 44, Yoki, player 7. All the games going on, the life was being saved. The doctor, the bowels of the mountain, proudly announces that 246 is alive and well, free, healed, looked at from nowhere, and issues in the head. 246 is conscious, he hears all of this, he's scared. Now let me tell him, I'm trying to save your life. Let's see if I can wish you to do that. By taking the doctor and putting him on 246. In episode 3, we all know that the big boss contact operate.
Arrangement or otherwise, pay attention to everything you do. It's like small stuff, because you know the next thing makes a difference when it comes to making money. We get it. We're the same way. Like, never thought I'd fix myself. So getting easy about it. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call like Granger.com or just Granger. For the ones getting done.
And when they do, they see what happened. They scan all the bodies except for the one on the operating table. And then they message us back that it was probably a gunfight and 16, the surgeon, killed all of them. And he finds that really weird, so he's like, I'm the one who fought the 16 when the lights go out. But of course, number 246 is now in 16's uniform. And number 11 is dying anyway. He's still injured, he's still recuperating from the gunshot. But she lets him know about the family group. She lets him know just to kind of lay low, act normal, while she figures out a way for them to get out.
I don't know what you get the fairy does.
But number 11 is also so your radio back, hey, guns with them. And now it's all starting to like, oh, okay, yeah, no, you were the one who shot up the other. She tells him that she's going to control the unemployed tomorrow, and they're going to go. Reminder that we need that to get out of there. But she says, well, yeah, I mean, isn't it easier for you to just disappear? And it is, in fact, easier. So instead of meeting the 16 that night, he sets it up. He gets the boat, he slips her a key, and in the morning, he wants to receive the key, but then he starts to think, no, something's not right about this. So he sends one of the workers back down to the operating room and says, check it out, find if you maybe missed anything. And that's when the worker sees the ID. He looks on the body on the table, and there is no track mark for it. And that's when he scans the body and finds out that it's number 16. Number 11 at 246 swaps it to 16. Now, 16 is actually a player in the game. So while they're trying to get off the island, Jun-Ho was trying to get on. They found a new drone pilot, and they seem to have located it. Jun-Ho
Hold
recognizes
on, is that?
it, and he begs Captain Pak to let him go on. Captain Pak tries to convince him to, but eventually he just gives in. He lets Jun-Ho go on the beach by himself. But before he actually does that, he gets a phone call from Woosak, who did some digging. And it turns out that no one knows who Captain Pak is. No one's ever heard of him. He finds it really, really suspicious, and he just warns Jun-Ho, hey man, just watch out. Woosak, however, decides to do more digging. He finds out where Captain Pak lives, and he breaks into his house. And Captain Pak has this guard dog. And initially, Woosak is able to avoid the guard dog, and he gets inside and he starts looking at a bunch of pictures, and nothing really out of the ordinary until he sees a picture with a guy that initially gets you to play Dachi. And he recognized the guy because he was the person who pulled the trigger on his boss. And now he knows that Captain Pak is working for these guys. With that information, he goes to leave, but then something catches his eye. It was supposed to be hidden, but outside, underneath the doghouse, was a trash bag. The trash bag had a pink jumpsuit with a mask, and then under that was a bunch of cash. But before Woosak could do anything, he gets caught by the police. Jun-Ho, though, he does get on the beach. He goes up to the top of the mountain, and it all comes rushing back to him. This is, in fact, the place. He radios back to the boat, and they tell him, alright, come back, and we'll search the first thing in the morning. But back inside, at the game, most of the survivors are reeling from the fact that they lost somebody that they were close to. For player 124, he's now reeling from the fact that he lost Thanos' cross full of drugs, and he's panicking a bit. And player 125, the guy who picked all the drugs, he's not talented. The old woman gets John situated with her new baby, a baby that has yet to meet his father because the guy had too much of a bitch to actually go over and say something. He's literally just watching from a distance. Then they all you do have some people that actually switch teams, like player 124. And the old woman begs the crew, come on, enough's enough. We have a baby in here. Let's get out of here. It's enough money. But unfortunately, her pleas go unanswered, and they vote to continue to play the game.
Isn't it like Christmas?
There's only
I mean,
25
like,
of them
I'd like
left.
to take it and see.
The old woman is really upset about it, as her most favorite to end the game, but she continues to try to take
Oh, she wants like everything. No, that's not gonna happen, dog.
She heads on over to talk to Jihan. And she starts to talk to him about the game. So she knows that Jihan said it, like, a lot of what's going down and a lot of people dying is all his fault. She wants what help not. But this kind of segment of beating herself up with the fact that she killed her own son really is weighing on her. The conversation is dominated by her, but she's really just getting a lot of this off her chest. It turns out Jihan will be the last person she talks to. Because when they wake up the next morning, she couldn't live with the fact that she killed her own son. She hung herself. And now there's only 24 players left. And for Jung-Yi, she is devastated over losing this woman. Because now she lost the two people that were closest to her in the game, Young-Ju and Young-Ja. She doesn't really have a ton of time to really mourn the loss because they have to get ready for the next game. The next game is something that the VIPs are really looking forward to. Now, a new wrinkle in the game this year is the fact that the VIPs are more hands-on. Like, for example, in the last round, the VIPs were allowed to go down and take suits and kill those that didn't make the cut. But now they're back in their VIP area, and they're also awaiting this game as they just argue back and forth and really just keep talking around each other. The players, though, making their way towards the arena, and that's when Jihan walks off to Jung-hee, and he tries to help her out with the baby. And she is so incredibly stubborn that she does the thing that she always does. The first is like, no, I don't need your help. And he's like, come on, you've got a bum ankle. You're at risk of endangering your child. I mean, let me hold it. What am I going to do? As the two make their way up the steps, she starts telling Jihan about the baby and why she decided to keep the baby and how, no matter how hard things got, the baby was now her main priority. She then, though, starts beating herself up over the death of her friends, and Jihan turns to her and says, no, don't do that. This is not your fault. We all had a choice. All of us. We all made that choice. So, don't blame yourself. They then get to the game arena, and it is going to be...
What is that? Oh, TV. Okay. I had 2 of them this whole time.
To your death if you don't end up jumping in time. And on top of it, they're a very narrow walkway. In the middle of it, you have to jump over because it's death. This is not going to be easy, and you've got 20 minutes to complete it. A lot of it has to do with timing, but a lot of it also has to do with balance, which is not going to be good for me. Not with a fractured ankle. And as they start to game plan on how we're going to get Jung-hee over to the other side, and Ji-Hoon tells her, I'm going to help you, but just leave the baby here, and we'll come back, it's only 20 minutes. One of the workers comes over and says, no, the baby has to go over too. And that was a rule that was brought in by the VIPs. They had to debate whether or not to include the baby in the game, and they decided, okay, yeah, if the baby's here, the baby also has to cross. And if this news, Ji-Hoon loses it. You can't believe they're forcing a baby into this game. But there's nothing really he can do. They've got guns pointed at him. He's just going to have to complete the task. He's going to have to figure out a way. And at first, everybody's scared of going over this line, but the first person though to actually get on the path is player 124, and it's not really by choice. Player 125 came over to him because he could tell that 124 was having a tough go of it. He's in withdrawal.
What's going
And that's
on?
when 125 mocking the shows with the cross. And 124 tried to grab it, but 125 pushed him back. No, you're not taking this. No, if you want it, go ahead. Move it on to the pathway. Forcing 124 to go and grab it. And at first he's doing fine, but when he finally grabs the cross and he overtakes and realizes that 125 took out the cross. And that's when he gets knocked down to the next person is Jihan. He's gonna get over with the baby, pick up Jung-hee, get them. And it's a little overstepped there for a bit. He loses out, but he is able to get across the side in about 2 minutes. The problem is, once people see that he's able to do it successfully, they blocks his ability to actually get back to Jung-hee. So they're just yelling to him, hey, just sit tight, I'll be back to you, don't worry, but slow process, and you've got slowly making their way down the path, the clock is ticking. All the while, he's like, urging you, you're good. When the second guy crosses, he stands by the ledge, and when the third person tries to go over, the second guy pushes him down to his death. Jacob goes, dude, what are you doing? This guy, player 96, then it's his turn, so in episode 4, Jihan tells player 96, you need to get out of the way. And player 96 is telling him, not joking. He also knows that Jihan, because he's behind him, can easily just push him off, so he does.
Armbar.
That does. Eventually, player 96 Jihan, player should throw up, is distracted, and he tries to attack him. Jihan, however, is able to fight him off. Throw him into the back, where eventually
Like, tweet cat right there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I need to move this house too. Oh, no, we don't. I'm just gonna line the perimeter.
She's trying to say, you find out that that mystery man is the dad of the mystery with the sick child. That's why she's trying to think. And so far, the plan is going forward. They get them both, they get on it, they're on their way out. That's when number 11 gets a radio call from the officer letting her know that if she just turns the boat around and like flare back, they'll turn blind eyes her everything. She, of course, isn't going to do that. And that's what lets her know that she's transported there to exist. Then reveals the entire backstory, the fact that she's got 6 kids in the hospital, all of that. And that forces number 11 to turn her around. Pulling her right back on the island. She doesn't force the player to come back. She gives me a gun and says, go to the hospital. They know where your kid is. You gotta protect your kid. And she heads off on the island by herself to hopefully meet the officer. She looks up at the mountain and she sees an entryway into the game. So she starts climbing the water. In episode 5, thanks to the relation system, number 11 is Gavin Rowe, and once again, it will jump the officer. And she makes it believe all the information here that he
You can't claim to be a fan if you've never spoken in the chat. I'm just saying.
They get into a scrap. While she fights valiantly, he's just stronger than her. He throws around the office pretty good. He finally gets down on me and says,
Oh.
what is this all about? I mean, you, this guy, what's the Kevin Russian kid, she's sick. And he starts ripping her for the fact that she probably feels like she needs to protect this kid because she left her child behind in Korea. She begs him to let 246 go, but he pulls out a knife and is about to stab her, but she starts fighting back. She's actually able to stab him in the shoulder, but once again, he gets the best of her, smashes a glass bottle against her head, knocks her down, and then he reveals to her the only reason he brought her to, because they're both North Korean, and he figured that she would understand him better because he also lost somebody just like she lost somebody. They've lost somebody getting hit with a missile, but now he realizes that she's not built like him. He stabs her once in the abdomen, murders her, aims her at the kid, and since she's in pretty rough shape, he doesn't think anything. He decides to take his time. He tells them that they're good to begin the game, and he actually starts pouring himself a drink. That's when she starts making a claw. He's kind of laughing a little on as he walks her down, saying, you need my heart to get down that way, right? But she's not going in the elevator. She's going because she forgot something in it. That's when he realizes, oh crap, the machine gun's in there. He runs as fast as possible, but it's too late. She turns around with the machine gun and shoots him dead. Still badly injured, she picks herself up. She starts making her way through the elevator, and she does find her way to the file cabinet, where she finds 246's file, and she tears it up. That's for 246. He's trying to make his way to the computer. But before they can fight, he sends security after them. They were able to track him down and shoot him. It looked like at one point they had him dead for life until they were shut off by Jun Ho and his family. Jun Ho did not heed a warning he got from the front man earlier that day. The front man, knowing what happened to Captain Pop, told Jun Ho, you gotta stop doing that, or you're going to die. Give it up. But Jun Ho wasn't about to give up. When he saw the fire on the radar, he saw that she was one low. He decided to help out, take that person out. Now they saved 246. But as for the game, Keon headed back to the barracks to pick that dagger, and he had plans on doing exactly what the front man told him to do, kill everybody that's willing to kill him. And the reason why the front man did this is because the front man had played Squid Game. He was given the exact same option by whoever was the front man back then. The front man gave him a dagger, he told him to go back to the barracks, and the front man was able to kill him. But Keon is not able to kill him. In fact, he's not able to kill anybody. Because when he gets close to doing it, he looks over and he sees Sabia. He starts to just speak to him, not kill him. And he realizes that it is he can't kill him. He rather just risk doing it. And that's what he prepared to do. When the 7 in the morning, everybody gets up and nobody has any idea that they all almost die. Instead, they just head to the game. With the VIPs excitedly looking on, they come out to the game arena and there are 3 giant pillars. One's a circle, one's a triangle, one's a square. All the players are brought on to the first one and they're told they have 15 minutes to decide who is the sacrifice, who is thrown off to their death. If they don't choose in 15 minutes, then nobody wins. But somebody has to die for them to advance to the next pillar. At first, this seems like a really easy option. You've got the one guy who's a junkie, you've got Keelan, and then you've got 222. Keelan is protecting 222 at all costs. But the players don't initially rush up and gang up on him. They decide to do a democratic vote and vote on who is going to be the sacrificial lamb. The first name thrown out there is 222 because it's a baby. And nobody seems to object at first, but finally player 333 says, you know what, no, I object. I mean, think about it. It just seems like player 456 is going to protect that child at all costs. We have to figure out a way to separate the two. But until we do that, there's an easier target, and it's the junkie.
all of the group agree that the junkie should in fact be the first casualty. But nobody really wants to be the person to push them. They haven't thought that through. At first they kind of ask him just to jump on his own, but he doesn't want to do that. And one of the concerns that they have is, what happens if I go to push him and he grabs me and brings me with him? What do I do then? That's a player 333. I'm just going to take a giant pole, and he uses that, nudging the junkie off, sending him to his death, and advancing everybody to the next pillar. It's at the next pillar where things get really interesting. The group once again convenes, and they vote that player 222 has to go. They start trying to convince Dion to just give up the kid, but he's not about to do that. And he uses their aggressiveness to his advantage. He says, okay, think about this. You push me off, and you kill both of us. Well, then you have to decide who you're going to kill next round. One of these guys. So, is that really what you want to do? And that sends everybody back to the drawing board, because he's right. The goal is for them all to
Why
win,
does that look
and
weird?
they have to figure out a way to separate Dion from the baby. They decide to play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever ends up losing is going to be the person that's in charge of separating Guion from the baby. And the way they're going to do that is they're going to tie all of their jackets to this guy and use it as like a sort of tether, holding him in place so that he can grab the baby and not be pulled to his death by Guion. But when this guy goes in to grab Guion, grab the baby, separate the two, what he wasn't banking on was that Guion brought the dagger with him. And he just starts kind of biding his time, until he grabs that dagger and he saws off the jacket, leaving only him, the guy, and the baby. And that was something the guy was not expecting, because now he's got a dagger out of his neck. Player 336, who is frozen, ends up getting pushed to his death, not by Guion, but by player 333.
How many of those
He's
crap
holding the
caviar?
pole. He shocks everybody. He will now align himself with Guion, and everybody's surprised because they feel betrayed. And that's when he reveals to the entire group that the reason he did it is because he is the baby's father. Not only
Lord,
does that
not
come
the
as a
father.
shock to players, it is a huge shock to the VIPs. They love it. But now it's made things interesting for fans. You've got 333 with a pole, you've got Guion with a dagger, and you've got 4 other people who don't have weapons. And they try to start reasoning with them, saying, look, we'll draw straws. But then player 100 decides, no, we're not going to do that. You know what we're going to do? We're going to beat up the weakest person in our group, which they do, and we'll just use him, and then we'll all win, including the baby. But Guion steps in and says, no, we're not going to do that either. No, we'll do it. We'll draw straws. We'll do this fairly. But that's when some of the players start fighting back. Player 203 goes for Guion's dagger, although he ends up getting stabbed and dying. Player 353 gets pushed off by player 333. And then finally, the poor guy that got beat up, even though he can breathe, he decides, you know what, I'm done with this game. And he just voluntarily falls to his death. And that leaves player 100, who starts trying to bargain with them, but they're done with this game. Especially 333, who pushes him to his death, and that leaves just 3 players for the last round. The baby, Guion, and 333. And in the series finale, Jung-Ho gets confirmation that player 246 is indeed a player and not a soldier from the game. And from there, 246 is able to point in the direction of where the island is located. Also, the guys with Jung-Ho, they've alerted the Coast Guard to their location and everything that they think they're going to be able to find. And that information pops up on the radar for the game. So pretty quickly, the front man is informed, hey, we do have an issue. And they start monitoring the area with a drone to see what's going on. Jung-Ho and his crew, they have about 30 minutes until the Coast Guard shows up, and that gives Jung-Ho enough time to locate the island, scuba dive in, and sure enough, he finds the entrance. Now it's just a matter of finding the front man. But while the front man is monitoring the situation going on outside of the island, inside, the game is going on well.
There's so many people.
You've got 3 players remaining, and one of them has to go. Both Gion and player 233.
You just ask if I have to work all day? Of course I do. I'm a farmer. Sun up to sundown, dog.
But then, holding that pole, he tells Gion, bring the baby, leave it, and back up. Gion's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. You're there to kill a baby. You're gonna discuss the matter because they have 5 minutes until the bridge that connects both platforms goes away. So you've got Gian on one platform, player 333 on the other platform, and they're at a stalemate. Because Gian is not about to just feed this baby so that 333 can kill it. And he tells him as much. He says, look man, I made a promise to Jun Yi. I told her that I would protect
I should
the baby
have
at all costs. And that's
done the
what
lightning rods
that's what
after
very frustrating
I did the
333
gifts.
has.
That was
What
my
did you
fault.
deal with her? I mean, did you know her on the outside? Did you fool around with her inside? Because you two were inseparable the moment you got here. Gianno doesn't answer that question. He actually agrees to sacrifice himself. Saying, look, man, you can kill me, just let me over the bridge, throw me over, and save yourself and the baby. But 333 doesn't believe it. He thinks that if he lets Jihan go over the platform, that Jihan will attack him, keep him all to himself. Because after all, Jihan has done this before, and not only that, he's won. He's really good at this sort of thing. Now, as these two argue about this, and it just seems like there's really no resolution, in the file room, number 11 sets pretty much all the files on fire, destroying any information they may have on contestants. But she does find her file, and it has a lot of information, including some really disappointing news about her baby girl.
10 people
It says
to
that after she
level
defected,
5.
her mother also tried to defect with her child. They both admit it.
It's something.
And that just guts her. So she goes from
He
bed,
goes in bed.
and she's watching the game, but she's also processing this material as well.
In bed.
Not sure what her next move is going to be, but she's been searching for her daughter this entire time. Why she's in the game was to find her daughter, and now to find out that there is no hope. It just seems like there's no real reason to live. But inside the game,
No, don't go to bed yet. Don't go to bed yet.
with 30 seconds till that bridge goes away, G1 caves. He puts the baby down. He backs off from the platform. 333, using the pole line, scoops up the baby, puts it down, and starts checking. This causes him to take his eyes off G1, crouches down, grabs the dagger. The bridge starts retracting. That's when G1 runs, leaps, makes it on to the next pillar, and starts to attack player 333. Instead of going back and forth, Jihan's putting off player 333 pretty good, but player 333 gets him to stop. Picks up the baby, dangling it over the side, telling him, I will drop this kid if you don't back up. Jump begs him not to do it, and starts getting closer to him, and player 333 starts breaking down. He demands that Jihan throw him the dagger, and Jihan doesn't because the other option is he just drops the baby. And if you're wondering why this was just stupid to say he's going to drop the baby off and both he and Jihan win, well, with Jihan, save your own child. That's exactly what he does. He grabs the dagger and starts
I didn't even realize it was.
stabbing Jihan until
Well, crap. Okay, pause. Let's see. I need octopus, crimson fish, dorado. So octopus, summer, new weather, 6-1, extreme, Dorado, any weather, 6-7, very hard. Crimson fish, season, summer, new weather. Oh. Oh. Fishing cat. That's not helpful at all. Let me see.
There's no remnants of anything. 6 months later, things have changed for a lot of players. No returns to the game to check off. Back when the returns and even all the rules the person recognized her. I mean, you recognize the fact that she was really she just said, like, I see her. It's very relieved.
Holy crap, this thing is like nuts.
Track her down. Now, let's say
Okay, cool, there's a crimson fish.
it's out of prison.
The octopus. During summer in the ocean, and unless during any season it constantly can be found in garbage cans from summer.
Something's waiting when he gets inside. It's player 222. The wall drops over with a card, alerting to the fact that that is the winner, and the debit card developing all. So now player 222 is in safe hands. As for Lucio, he just figures that
Oh,
we'll fix it.
yeah, that's, I forgot about that. Okay.
But then they start talking about what exactly happened to money, because money's really crap work.
6 to 1.
They start talking about maybe there's a possibility Jennifer sold money. But now there's a third person.
I'm gonna get away from here, that way I don't have a chance of getting mad.
Front man travels to Los Angeles, finds Gio's daughter.
Come over here,
First,
fish.
She had heard from her father after she got sick of waiting. But she basically goes, yeah, go on. Now the father has to go over that because her dad passed away. Or his last walk. And that message, she's sick. She's a little shell-shocked. Player 456's jacket. And then,
Wait, hold on, octopus. Let me,
she's going to take care of her.
anytime during,
Try to ask some more questions without being the front man is left. You're not quite sure where he's going, but while he's stuck in traffic,
maybe it'd be easier to do it than
there's somebody playing dodging.
I think the Dorado,
There's a woman who's orchestrating.
summer, any weather.
It's a simple
Let's try,
game to win. No. This game, it's worldwide. The Americans version just gives a sly smile. She knows it. And that would be the end of Squid Game. Thank you so much for following out. We appreciate it. It's a channel. If you like it, smash that thumbs up button. Thumbs up. And let me know what you thought about the ending. And if there will be more Squid Game, I feel like we're wrong. Because that's this baby.
oh, okay, well that was it.
Sure.
Holy crap, well, I found it. You know what, let's try, oh, one button. If I would have known they could have been caught in any weather, that's what I would have done. Or do I want to try the other fish? I have to try the other fish first. Because it's what? Pause that real quick so I can double check. The Dorado. Summer, any weather. And the river. Hi, baby. What you doing, good girl? Can I take that tackle off? How do I remove? Okay. Oh no. So I'm not really worried about. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be that hard. No, I should probably use that other tackle, huh? This kind of puts a river right. Because it's showing like directly above here. Probably would perfect down there. What the heck is the catch rate on the thing? The count says well, that's not helpful at all. Could talk. Okay. Facing east. So, little island in the river. Facing east. Oh, where's a pike gnawing? Okay, there's the Dorado. I literally only have 3 fish left. Okay. I'm gonna go run and take care of. Oh dear lord. Okay, go away. Oh, I didn't mean to tell that. That's fine. Gonna keep the crimson fish. Rare. So all they use is a trap bobber. Okay. Run. Oh dear lord. Oh dear lord. Those are a million of you. And no one popped an egg today. Killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Go to the beach. Yeah. Gonna buy a couple more trap bobbers. Their money's closed. I think it's closed. Yeah, it's closed. Okay, well, back to the dock. To the other. Especially now that I know I can catch it any. I'm a little annoyed about that. That's fine. Yeah, I need to move that one down, I think, because that being in the way is not good. I probably should have bought more tab boppers. Now I'm thinking about it. What are you doing, bro? Stop, like, come on. Like, this thing works like half the freaking time. Crazy. Come on. No, no, stay in the thing. And it's just a super cucumber. Oh, can you buy meals to help with fishing? I need more hearts with Lily. Another two biggie timber. Another two. Yeah, see. Come on, read it. This tackle is junk. Yeah, no, this thing's hot freaking garbage. Oh, what are you doing? Come on. Okay, let's just go back. Let's make a little bit off of this stuff. I put literally going to be what? The octopus, anglerfish, and glacial fish. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Of course I need. Of course they want cookies. Why wouldn't they want something I actually have? I think I'm gonna try to do what this dude said to do and just focus on fishing. I'll just spam the octopus, and if I get it, great. If I don't, I'll just reset the day. That way I'm not burning multiple days trying to catch this stupid thing. You wanna be friends with Lily? Come on. Hurry up. I thought you opened at 8 because of the thing. But I guess not. I just stand here and wait. There we go. Trout soup. Trout soup's better than nothing, I guess. But, let's buy 20 of them just to be sure. I only bought 2 of those bobbers. That's unfortunate. Right there. And just like that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I need to sell crap before I start doing those, because it's going to take me... Oh, it's crazy. No gifts for anybody until I make sure I'm situated. So you want a gift? You better make sure I get what I need. Alright, and that's a full thing of ostriches. Not bad catching all the summer fish by day 2. That means I can keep focusing on gifts for the rest of the season. Really not looking forward to trying to craft everything. Check that real quick. Cooked once. Cooked that. Why do I hear flies? Oh, time to pass out presents. Like shove my way in. I guess I could wait till they go to their houses. That might make things a little bit easier. What up, George? Sorry, George. This is how things go. No. Why you gotta be so insulting, dog? Over here. I wanna know why there's all that empty space. That's really what kills me. I'm trying to give Robin the gift. Oh my goodness. No, stop it. God, that's obnoxious. Penny! Luis, Abigail, Demetrius, George, Vincent, Caroline, Linus. I'll go run up there for Linus. I thought it says that there's not enough room for the horse, but yeah, there's like all that room. Doing alright, how about yourself? Robin looks like she's wearing a hat from behind. That's why she always throws me off. Yeah. Woo. That's going alright. How about you? Or, no, I already said. She getting ready to hop off. I noticed how long I'd been on. And I guess Melissa said, what? You hear me say I'm gonna hop off, and you're like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go do stuff. Yeah, yeah. Are you done barking and growling at everybody? Huh? Yeah, it's bad. You don't need barking and growling at everybody. Shit. Your dad thinks I'm trying to get together, but we're not. He's lying to you. He's lying. Nope. Is this your first time trying to scam people, or are you just bad at it? Oh, that's fine. Right. That's why if I add you on Discord, you're gonna spam me with a bunch of AI nonsense. And it's gonna be the exact same crap I've been sent before. Nice try, homie. Nice try. You were in here the other day trying to send me the same nonsense. I'm good. You know what? Here. Are you ready for it? What did I put in though? There's I did 5. Okay. Not terrible. That's still terrible. What do I need to make those? A straight kick in myself. Let's see. I can do almost one. What am I missing? I'll do one more iron bar. I think I'm just gonna go buy the iron bar. Yep. Shut up. Now what am I doing? What am I trying to do? I know wish you return. I worked on other things too, like you could just teleport around. We got 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80. So that would be 280 if I expanded by 1. I might. That's a whole lot of work, and that's a whole lot of iron ore. Cookies, someone's cookies. What's the nautical shell? I can't get till winter. So it'd be 100 of each ore. Might just do that. Just YOLO it. Just buy it. Well, let me check the 40 first. And buy it today. It's already late. I guess technically I could walk in here and be like, yo. And then he's gone. I already checked on the animals today. Yeah. I'll probably forget about it later. I did check on this one. Really? I need to find a new spot to put all these. You. But if I expand this one that way. Okay. There's, maybe it won't be as bad as what I think it will be. No, that just means I'm gonna have to move all these dudes over one. These I'm gonna have to move over two, which means I would block this entryway.